Conrad TV, no hearsay. Hey, hey.
Mayday.
It's Conrad TV, no hearsay. Hey, hey.
Mayday.
It's Conrad TV, no hearsay. Hey, hey.
Mayday.
It's Conrad TV, no hearsay. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. One thing is certain, it's gonna be crazy, yo.
Conversational radio TV, just different.
Hey, hey.
We have a great man, a man of a lot of knowledge, a man who's played in the space of law. You talk about parliament, there's a lot of legislation that needs to be put into place. You talk about coming into the democracy, people talking about BEE, people talking about employers' rights, people talking about corporate law, labor law, commercial law.
Especially it being Workers' Day today.
Yeah.
I think the most, the primary legal issue on many of the listeners' minds is labor law. Because lockdown has come. Mm-hmm. Lockdown has rendered businesses profitless.
Yeah.
Lockdown has rendered South Africans unemployed.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot of people have questions, but I think let's just welcome Mr. Mashed Kutama, who is the president of the Black Lawyers Association. And if you could just kindly, tell us more about the history of the organization and why it was formed.
I thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for listeners out there. It's nice, and welcome to Workers' Day. The BLA was formed many years ago. I think it was in the twilight of just influenced by the youth uprising in 1976. It was formed in 1977.
Aha.
That was the time that I think South Africans, especially black South Africans, professionals, students, were up against apartheid.
Yeah.
And if you look why BLA was formed, it was because of segregation of black lawyers. Mm. In court, they were segregated. They were not allowed to sit with other lawyers. But essentially, and more important, they were also not allowed to practice in metro. Today we call them metropolitan. They were not allowed to practice in white suburbs in terms of the Group Areas Act. Mm. So you would practice law. The court is in Johannesburg Central, but you are not allowed to go where? To have offices in Joburg Central, as long as you're a black practitioner. There's a very good, interesting case around that of many of our lawyers in Krugersdorp who also fight about that. You'll also remember that any business, any black person was not allowed to have a business in town. So black lawyers stood up against that. They said, no, courts are still where? In town, city centers. We practice there. Our people are employed there. Our people appear in those courts. We want to practice there. That is where the BLA was formed.
Okay. The first president of the BLA. During a time where there's uprisings, there's a lot of uncertainty, we are fighting for workers' rights, even from a legal perspective. Are you around during that time? Are you born at that time? Do you remember during those times, where were you specifically in 1977?
I was already born. I was in a very locked place called the Republic of Venda.
Yes.
But I remember students coming from a higher secondary school, coming singing that there's black power. I remember vividly those that were older than me coming to open our classes that we must go home because there's black power. To us, it was black power was not an uprising. It was as if blacks are taking over power there and then.
Okay.
Yes.
There and then. Because the word black power was at the time, literally speaking, was not we are going to fight for it.
Yes.
In 1976, those that were in class, those that were at work, because of course it originated right deep in Soweto, but in the low-lying area, it was that black power. If you look even today, you'll see that it was black power. It was as if we have captured it, and that's how, when I was a little boy, to me at that time, I felt, oh, we are in power now.
Yes.
So now I wanna jump in right into the whole thesis of why the Black Lawyers Association was formed.
Yes.
So essentially, the thesis is okay. It was formed to advocate for the rights of black lawyers commercially, because you can't be not allowed in city central and not be able to go to court or have an office in the courts, right?
Yes.
So in other words, so that black lawyers can get work,
Yes.
essentially, and obviously be treated equally, but be treated equally so that they can grow their businesses and
Yes.
etc. As legal practitioners,
Yes.
and obviously help their people. So being an attorney myself, here's an antithesis
Yes.
that I've observed in the legal space,
Yes.
right? Is that even till today, black lawyers are still marginalized.
Yes.
They're marginalized. I mean, you go to white-owned practices, you
Yes.
find 200, 300 people, you find 50 directors, you find 20 partners, right?
Yes.
And then you go to black law firms and they're smaller shops.
Yes.
And maybe we'll get to this question again, the one whereas now, given lockdown, apart from employees themselves, I'm pretty sure there are black lawyers who are now scraping at the bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
So what is the Black Lawyers Association doing about these current state of affairs? Because now it's a different struggle. Back then,
Yes.
the struggle was to be treated equally. Now the struggle is work
Yes.
and commercial, obviously commercial development, economic development. What is the BLA doing about that?
That's a very important question, Thato and Mmuso. Mmuso will know that at the core of our existence now, it is for fair and equitable distribution of legal work. And obviously, lawyers, legal practitioners, like all black professionals in the country, are also subjected to racist pattern of work. Your chartered accountant, your even down to a plumber, as long as you're black, you are subjected to discriminatory distribution of work. And the BLA is at the center of that for many, many years. We, as the BLA, as you remember, as early as even now, I think the 17th of July 2017, we handed over and we demonstrated outside Union Building.
Yeah.
First and foremost, that was directed to the state,
Yes.
including our own black government today.
Yes.
Still in the main does not distribute legal work to black attorneys. Still it does not brief a lot of black practitioners, advocates, especially women practitioners. And of course there are a variety of reasons. But to us these are two. It's racism, because there's no excuse today under a black government that black attorneys still don't have legal work. The state is a consumer of legal services. The state is sued every day. The state owns parastatal. You can't believe this government that we're talking about has got more than 200 to 700 parastatals, but they don't brief blacks. It is clear. Go and ask who is a lawyer for ESCOM. Throughout the scandal of coal, who drafted those contracts? Ask who drafted Prasa locomotives contract. It is white lawyers. So in the main, that is the main struggle today. It is a struggle of bread and butter. Because this generation of lawyers today want to impose a legacy of equality and fairness in the distribution of work. We are not saying the state must not brief white attorneys and advocates, legal practitioners. We are saying give us
A fair
opportunity.
Yes.
Like in any other professional. And this is contains clearly in our memorandum. Currently, the State Attorneys Amendment Act is in operation starting this year. Currently, the ministry has appointed an acting solicitor general.
Yes.
Where in all state legal work will be centralized. This will be the entry point for BLA to make sure that we are able to see. We don't want only work.
Yes.
We want prime work.
Yes.
We don't only want prime work. We want to see rents and cents equitably.
Absolutely.
And the constitution of this country is very clear. For state to procure every services or goods, it must comply with section 217 of the constitution. There must be an open and a fair tender. And this is the struggle not only for lawyers, it's a struggle of all service providers and all people that sell goods to the state.
Yes. Mr. Mashudu, you speak of a very valid point, and I mean, at the core of this conversation, it's access.
Yes.
Because of access to opportunities also increases this one thing that you always see in job descriptions, experience.
Yes.
You know, then it's a systematic way of excluding people, because now you then say, this is like 1997, you say you need to have 15 years of experience of practice,
Yes.
having represented in so many courts and so many courts. Now, you are then elected to be the president.
Yes.
What's the first thing that you said, I want to change?
Your legacy, the
coming
legacy that
into
you want to leave.
BLA,
Yes.
Yeah.
knowing the history that
Yeah.
you know, we've been fighting for access as BLA.
Very 3 to 5 fundamental question is the issue of fair distribution of legal work, is the issue of transformation and independence of the judiciary, but equally important, to raise the profile, the image of a black lawyer and the profession at large.
Yes.
I'm sure, Thato, today, when you sit around and say, this guy is an attorney,
Yes.
or is an advocate, you see a money-grabbing professional. We want to change that.
Yeah.
You think that lawyers are excessive, and that is the image that we want to change.
Yeah.
We want people to understand that lawyers are professional,
Yes.
they are honest, skillful people.
Yeah.
More than anything else, they also do community work, which we call it pro bono services.
Yes.
All law societies, all courts in this country have got services where, in myself as an attorney,
Yes.
the law society give me certain cases to do it for free
Yes.
for the community. And that is what we want to do. On transformation of and the independence of the judiciary, the BLA has been, throughout its years of existence, making sure that the judiciary is transformed, but independent of influence, independent of other two arms of what? Of state, which is the executive and the legislature. That is very central. And these 3 issues are tied to each other. Because if you don't give black practitioners good legal work, what trains them to become good judges?
Absolutely. Yeah.
For you to produce a good, quality, skillful, knowledgeable judge, you should have produced a good, qualifiable, skillful attorney or an advocate. And the state have got that responsibility.
Now, a lot of people have been asking me this question. What is the difference between a lawyer, an attorney, you know, and a judge? Like, how do you also even, like, through that transition, get to a judge? And how many years do we then calculate, or is it based on experience? Is it 5 years before you become a judge? But just, what is the difference?
It's an attorney is admitted to practice as an attorney. Currently, in terms of the Legal Practice Act, even an advocate, there's an effort, and this is one of our passion of the BLA, to fuse the profession.
Okay.
So that we all called legal practitioners.
Okay.
Currently, the system allow you to still be an advocate and then an attorney. And an advocate is a specialist litigant. He's a specialist person who takes your file to court, to present it to the court.
Okay.
But it's hybrid because even attorneys now are allowed to do what an advocate can still do. Over a period of time, then mostly you start to act as an acting judge, and when there's a position, you apply. There's equally, as an attorney, you have a test fit and proper. You should have passed your degree, served articles now for a year, done law school, and be admitted and pass the exam. Equally, when you have become a judge, there's a test for you to be fit and proper. The primary one is that you should at least have practiced law for more than 10 years. You should have, you must have a character and a presence of being a judge, and you apply. As you know, you go through interviews through the Judicial Service Commission. You are grilled there on your jurisprudence, on your understanding of the law. There's also an imperative question, transformation. What is that when you are a candidate, you'll advance the transformatory trajectory of the judiciary? And that's where the BLA starts. We as the BLA, we have got judges that when they practice, they were members of the BLA. Just 5 that are known, or 7. From the Constitutional Court, we had Tate Mseneke, who is the founder member of the BLA, who was the Deputy Chief Justice. We have the Chief Justice himself. When he was an advocate, he was a member of BLA. I know that very well. Judge Chiki, she's a judge in the Constitutional Court. She was a member of BLA in Captain Park. In the Supreme Court of Appeal, we have Judge Mulimela, Judge Matopo, Judge Dambuza. In the lower, in the high courts, we have got many members. Very inspirational. But the popular one is Mujapilu DJP, who's also a former president of the BLA. And amongst senior advocate, we had even Judge Poswa is our former president. The other popular figure that you might know, Thato, is advocate in Tseveza SC, is our former president. And we have very, senior citizen of this country, having been membership of the Black Lawyers Association.
BLA. Now, this young man here.
Thato, Mmuso,
Mmuso. You've seen this young man.
A lot.
And now he calls you up and says, President, we've got a show, But this young man, I talk to him, I consult. I mean, I've got a passion for law, because I think a lot of people don't understand the work that goes into law for legislation to be put in place. And, you talk about the state having a responsibility to empower black lawyers, black advocates, to get into a space so that they understand, because it's very systematic. And you say, okay, then I come in as a president, and these are like 5 objectives that I want to transform, and these are some of the challenges. And now we then say, okay, the next 10 years, this is what we would like to achieve, and the legacy that I want to see having achieved as the black president. Now, this is 10 years later, 2030. This young man, what would you want him to have gained from BLA systematically 10 years from now?
That's a good question.
Having you led the BLA.
That's a very good question, because you're talking about a young legal practitioner. Coincidentally, last year at the AGM in Polokwane, where I was elected president, we amended our constitution to insert a proviso that suggests, that enshrined, that we will strive to empower a young legal practitioner. So that is very important. You would ask yourself why all along. All along, it was believed that you'll have, BLA has got a BLA student chapter at university level. All 21 universities that has got a law school, you have got a BLA student chapter. That is where our young people start to know the BLA. We engage with them, we fund them, program together. We go and address them. They attend our meeting, except that they don't vote, but they participate. They give us their report, and so on and so on. And then all along we thought that is enough. But now we realize that there's a gap of transition. That you must make sure that from being a student, being a candidate, and being an attorney, then there must be these formative years. And the question is, how do the BLA now empower those younger legal practitioners? These younger legal practitioners, one, they are faced with, like any other person, they are faced with discrimination at the workplace, they are faced with the issues of access, they are faced with the issues of, some of them, harassment of any nature. Then you need the BLA to speak to their needs. You need the BLA that will be able to train them in how to run their practice, how to seek work, how to brand yourself, how to market your services. And when you are speaking to me, you are also speaking to the chairperson of a company called Attorneys Development Fund. It is formed by the profession itself. The purpose of the Attorneys Development Fund is to fund a new practitioner. We give you 100 to 200,000. You buy your necessary tool of trade, that is your computer, your office furniture, for you to start up.
Okay.
So, and these are issues that the BLA is in the forefront.
Beautiful.
And we want to make sure that the attorney of today, the legal practitioner of today, has got necessary tool and ability to practice than the one that started to practice in the 90s. That's where we are now. Yes. And we think that if we are to achieve what we have set on younger legal practitioners, at least in these 10 years that you're talking about, you'll have legal practitioners that are skillful, competitive, able to run their business more than ourselves, more than the generation that came in 90, 2000, and 2010, because each generation must improve on the previous one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, I'm not
Yes,
sure.
Thato?
When did you become chairman of the ADF?
It's last year in March.
Is it?
Yes.
I actually did some work before that, so I'm an attorney's attorney.
Hey, man. Look, you go on, Kumela. I'm an attorney's attorney. Yeah, Chief. What's got to confuse? You've got fellow listeners that are trying to understand the field. What is an attorney's attorney?
An attorney's attorney. What I mean is that attorneys look to my services for attorney services.
Really? Okay. So now, I want to ask something because there's been this thing that has been happening across a lot of industries, but to specifically speak on the legal industry.
Yes.
Young people of today, the appreciation of the work, the appreciation of hard work.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that you face as the BLA when it comes to mentoring young practitioners in the legal field?
Yes.
You know, versus when you look at 20, 30 years ago, there was a different appreciation of the work because you knew that the stance is about empowering the lives of black legal practitioners.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that you've had? And if now there are young people and Mr. Mashudu is standing in a podium and he's talking to 100 of them,
Yes.
knowing the challenges that are there and also the good, what is the first two things that you say to these young people?
One of the important thing is hard work and commitment to the cause. Hard work in the sense that, like any other sector, the legal profession is a profession of tangible results. It's a profession of clients want to see results. Clients come, they don't expect or accept excuses. So it is very important that you must know that you're going to work very hard. And then the second point is commitment to the cause. It is very important to commitment is more than dedication. Commitment speaks about your inner self. You must be ready to emphasize and be able to carry the burden of someone else. I will make an example of a simple thing that you might not have realized. That is very tremendous. A divorce matter. You have a client who comes and say, I want to divorce, and then you become the second person that he or she will have to divulge very serious and confidential issues. But again, you must carry. You don't judge your client. You carry the mandate. You carry the pain to the latter degree. Because this is your client. That is what I'm talking about, commitment. Not only that, a simple traffic fine. Your client has never appeared before a magistrate nor even the court building. You can imagine, no matter how brilliant or intelligent this client you think, or how brave it is, the first day that he or she goes there, you will be the guiding light. I remember a few years ago when I was still doing these sorts of things, one client was actually at Hillbrook police station, was hanging behind me. And a very senior person who came from Mozambique and get to be arrested for drunken driving in a diplomatic corps. He was so scared just to go to. I said, let's go. Yes. Yeah. So this is where you are committed to this person.
Yeah.
You don't handle it like any other matter that you had the day before, because this is an individual challenge.
Yes.
You might have had hardcore criminals who smile, who with court officials who are used to the environment. But this client of yours today does not know this environment. You must be able to read and commit and carry that through and say, I'm with you, I'll take you out of this trouble and do your best. So that is the very fundamental. But the last point that must be emphasized is also the issue of ethics.
Yes.
Ethics is not about carrying yourself in a manner that is believable, but it is also do with your trustworthiness.
Yes.
Your honesty.
Yes.
Clients deposit, when they pay you, they deposit a lot of money.
Yeah.
You speak to your colleague, you must be respectful. Mmuso, like I said, I know him very well. I was his correspondent. When you have a matter, because he practiced in another town after the Jekske River called Tshwane.
Yes.
I practice in Johannesburg.
Johannesburg.
He briefed me to be his correspondent. I had to
I
had to talk to him in a wonderful way. I had to carry whatever. I'm telling you, there was a time that when I was going to court, I had to make copies for this young man.
And especially because it was a high profile case.
Yeah,
But obviously, we know when to talk about
you
the
see,
clients. It was
we
actually
are
a high
Moholo
profile
at any
case.
copy for an
Yeah.
I am under your stewardship.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
look, there's
Okay.
no one else I
Yeah.
can have to represent me and my client
And
in your city.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
it's a
more
commitment
about-
because in that instant, Mmuso called me and said, Mr. Kutama, I'm sorry, you know that matter is now at 9. I want this document 1, 2, 3. I said, oh, don't worry, I'm rushing to court. As emailing here now. When I arrive, I'll make copies and do 1, 2, 3.
yes.
It's a commitment.
And we want
because
that case.
Mmuso has got an undertaking from the client, that side. His result-oriented client chose Mmuso out of the entire city of Athens. Don't undermine that. Now Mmuso must deliver.
Young man.
It's a business of delivery. It's a professional logistical manner because people come for result for you. They can always go next door.
Yeah. So we talk hard work, we talk commitment, we talk ethics.
Yes.
We talk to the young man, we say, young man, these are 3 principles that you must have.
Yes.
Young man, Yanungamo, he's got a high profile case, he goes, he represents, he wins. At least now he's giving at least young people a good sense of what all of those things, if you take the learnings from the stewardship of, Tate Mashudu, now you know, okay, this is what I need to do. Now, you speak about ethics. What happens to a advocate, attorney who's unethical?
Or found to
Now,
be.
Yes.
ke dutse le motho go ne wa juicy mo juicy nyeo ya nong o setsa nong antsha nong di file tsa rona oh man court case ele ho so
Yes.
what happens in a case like that?
It's a Lawyers, of course, are bound by confidentiality, like any other professionals. Doctors are not exempted. You must keep confidential issues between you and client. And then you must also be ethical. If you are found, the lawyers are subjected to the rules and regulations gazetted by the Legal Professional Council, Practice Council, and clients are entitled to report any ethical behavior or conduct to that, and then the attorney will have to explain, or the advocate. There's cases where attorneys or advocate had to be debarred, that is, has to be struck off the roll. That is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Wherein you misappropriated clients' money, or you conducted yourself that is not befitting to the profession. That is not something that we as the BLA are proud of. In actual fact, we do by all means to couch, monitor, role model young people not to do such things.
Okay.
And in the event that it happened, you are struck off, and then you can be rehabilitated, normally 5-10 years. You reapply. It's a huge
It's a long
embarrassment
process,
to the profession,
Yeah.
your family. It also affects greatly your
Credibility also.
no, even your business standing in the community. An attorney is a businessman. An attorney draw profit, makes money like any other business.
Yes.
So it affects you greatly, your family, and finances, of course, because you will not be practicing as an attorney. So it is something that we more often speak to amongst ourselves.
Yes.
It is something that even the regulatory body organize workshop on accounting, how to handle trust money,
Yes.
how to handle yourself. And the BLA is very clear on that, how we should not be tempted amongst ourselves, not to allow peer pressure to set in and drive you to misuse clients' money. Because people trust you, they deposit money for you to do a lot of transactions. Yeah. For example, client can even call you today and say, I want to procure masks, but I don't trust the guy
supplier.
the supplier. Deposit money into your account so that the money can come out from you.
And
You
then
also
you do a
trust,
due
due diligence to that
you find
person.
out, yeah.
There's
So
a
you hold-
lot,
Even when someone's like buying property, for
Yes,
instance,
yes,
they put money into your account.
Yeah,
Like let's say it's a commercial property,
Property,
300
yes.
million.
Yeah.
Goes into your account. You know what I mean?
And
So you need a lot of discipline.
We must not see you with a Ferrari with the money that does not belong to
to
you.
you. Yeah.
So it is very, it's one, it is a sad moment for us as BLA because one member down, it's one member too much.
Yeah.
That one rotten potato
Yes.
spoils the whole bag.
And society has got trust to professionals. When you go to a doctor or a dentist to take out your teeth, you have got high level of trust.
Yes.
When you go to an attorney, you go to his office, there are certificates on the wall, there's a letterhead. You're satisfied that this person will not misuse your money.
Yeah.
So that is where these issues come from, the issue of ethics, honesty, and
So I want to ask something just
Yes.
before we let you go because we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
So lockdown. Hey,
Yeah.
lockdown. So I want you to speak on two issues now,
Yes.
right? And they're actually interlinked.
Yeah.
In that, so a lot of people have not been paid right now.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
have not been paid. So what is the legal recourse that they may have, whether it be going to the UIF,
yes.
whether there's some steps the employer should have taken in terms of, I
yeah.
don't know, notice or whatever.
Yeah.
And secondly, same side of same coin, other side. That is more relevant to the Black Lawyers Association. Is what is the Black Lawyers Association doing to assist black practitioners who, you know, are out of
affected
pocket
during this
now?
time.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yes,
like they're going through the most. So
Yeah.
just if you can speak on those two issues real quick.
Let's without giving advice, let's just deal with the general workers because it's Workers' Day.
Yes.
It is very sad moment. But the government has created a a leeway by creating the UIF relief fund, where all employers should lodge online a claim for UIF. Fortunately or unfortunately, the maximum that they can pay is 17,000 per month per employee. But the reverse side of that, you must have already been registered with what? With UIF. And a lot of employers might not have registered. But if you have registered, you do that. It depends. My recording says it takes 3 days up to maximum 3 weeks because of that. It's determined by the number of employees. If you have got a small business, 3 to 10 employees, your employees get paid quickly. But if you have got a greater workforce, because the UIF must do investigation. On the impact, it is very COVID have changed the entire course of business. Of course, unfortunately, some of these companies, small business, and this also affect lawyers, they will be forced to retrench.
The process of retrenchment.
Retrenchment, it's a legal way to dismiss employees in terms of Section 189. Without giving you advice, Thato, you need to follow that section. You need an attorney to assist you as an employer, so that you write a letter, you consult with the employee, you give them option, and then it tells you the benefit that the employees are entitled. But very important, it's consultation. The second point will be a letter. I think it's in terms of Section 189, subsection 3. You must write a letter to all of them, those that are affected. And then there's an issue of severance package in terms of the Basic Condition Employment Act. It is there. The law is very clear. And then, fortunately, now you have an option since last year of conciliation. Both the CCMA and the bargaining councils are open for conciliation. Between, if, for example, the employee is not satisfied by the severance package or any other package, because then you'll be discharging the employee from work. But on the side of BLA has always been doing community work. One of our major project, we do something community work that we give school uniform and school shoes. We also give sanitary towels for young girls. We've started this thing amongst branches. Now it's national. It was launched in 2017 somewhere in Sikukune. Moving forward, we'll have this community relief fund, because COVID has now made everybody aware that community need. Of course, even currently, our branches will be involved. We will also be involved with the BLA Community Relief Fund. But beyond that, you will need a lot of things. For example, just if school has to reopen during winter, you'll need school shoes. So the BLA is very good on that. What we do normally, whenever we converge, let's say Polokwane, we choose a school around Polokwane. We did that in Seshego last year. We go, the school principal give us a list of children that needs new shoes, girls that needs towels, and that we do. We're more focused on school children, because we want to inspire them, and I think some of them it's amazing for you to go to a school in a community, engage with some of them want to know how did you become a lawyer, how do I become a Ronaldo, such kind of engagement with younger people. It's very, very important.
What made you get into law?
It's not Murphy law. I think it was my family has always been litigious. Because I think when I was young, I went with consultation with my elder brother, who was a chief. He's deceased now. Then I consulted with one advocate and an attorney, and they were so sharp. The way they were, they were simplifying the problem that we have as a family, legally speaking. I said, "Oh, I got it. I'm going there." That's how it became. And fortunately, the family advocate became a judge, but he's deceased. It was Judge Bay. He was at the time when he was an advocate. He was our family advocate. He used to simplify my family problem.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Thank
So,
you.
Mr. Mashudu, now
Yes.
before we let you go, I think at the end of your tenure as president,
Yes.
if you don't get re-elected, tenure is 2 years.
Yeah,
right?
it's 2 years. Yeah.
2 years. So you got elected in March last year.
No, in November last year.
November last
yeah,
year.
23rd.
So
yeah.
in October next year,
Yeah.
we're going to call you back to the show and try to establish whether what you set out to achieve has been achieved.
Yes. No.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
No, absolutely fine, because I believe that he will. You know, it's the fact that, you know what, I'm a young man and then I find my vision. You know, it's the thing that we were talking about in the
Yes,
earlier show. You know,
yes.
is that you find your passion and in that. But a quick question,
Yes.
because of now we're living in a very digitized era.
Yes.
The laws that govern these digital platforms, you know, people putting out content, saying things,
Yes.
you know, even just lawyers now Instagram
Yes.
you know,
yes.
forgetting, you know, are there even some of the rules even within the BLA that guards against you misrepresenting BLA through your own personal actions and your
Putting
personal
it into
pages?
disrepute.
Yeah, it's a very grey line in the organization because BLA is a voluntary organization. So a member can volunteer the membership. His or her own conduct outside might be very difficult to monitor. But I think the important question that you should have asked me, it's about the impact probably of the fourth industrial revolution
yes.
on our legal practice. You might have seen recently, since closure of COVID, that courts are running visual.
Yes.
Currently. A week ago, we had a matter as a BLA where we an amici were a front of court. It was done through Microsoft Team. I saw PE High Court on Microsoft. Recently, the matter of SAA Express liquidation before Judge Twala was on Skype.
Nice.
It's court are becoming visualized. In Gauteng is even better because Gauteng has started what we call case lines. Case line, it means instead of a judge going to court with a bundle of documents, all documents are online. So a judge can just come in court with a tablet, all documents are filed there.
Cheers, sir.
It's very doable. It's very interesting. In actual fact, there's a matter that the BLA is also an amici on the 5th of May. Already all the documents are online. So the judge does not have to carry a bundle of documents in court. So we are embracing technology. We are in the forefront. We are encouraging our members to do this thing. In actual fact, even the rules of court, they encourage you now as parties to exchange document via email. Instead of you having to physically drive, you can just email document. We agree that we'll exchange our notices and pleadings through email.
So what about
we
data?
are crippled.
Data?
In actual fact, data, you can't believe, was a debate 2-3 days ago, to the extent that we felt that even professional must join the movement #data must fall.
Yeah.
Because
important.
for you to stay
expensive.
on visual court for 3 hours,
It's
300-400 gone of data.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a need now for the movement, even amongst professionals, to join that data must do what?
Must fall.
Must fall. Let's close there.
No, data must fall. The BLA, president of the BLA, Mr. Mashudu, he's been very informative, and I think we definitely will want to have a slot that usually, you know, speaks about law, because
Yes.
of law
Yeah.
is
Legal
at
issues,
the
Yes.
fundamental of even business relationships.
Exactly.
Even relationships. That's why even in marriages we talk about divorce.
Yes.
We talk about even things about NDA,
corporate,
you know,
commercial.
corporate
Yeah.
commercial law. And on this very historic global day, because of our International Workers' Day, we are celebrating workers at this today.
Yes.
It's not a celebration, and people are saying it's not Happy
Yes.
Workers'
yes.
Day, you know. But we just wanted to have a show where we just talk about, you know, issues that impact the normal South African on a daily basis.
Yes.
The importance of information, because information itself is the good work that the BLA is doing and
Yeah.
trying to assist also, different communities who might also sometimes need legal service and legal
Yeah.
advice.
Yes.
I, being also in business, have learned the importance of consulting.
Yes.
Because of a lot of times, it's about low consult, but also it's also a cost thing. Yo,
Let me tell
thinking-
you, Thato.
Thank
So
you.
I'm Thato's attorney, ne? Thato can wake me up at 2 a.m, ne?
And he wants you. He wants to advise you.
no. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, ne? And that's another thing. I think I must speak on behalf of all attorneys. Is that if you want to be a brilliant attorney,
Yes.
you are an attorney. You're a friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a psychologist.
Yes.
You are so the burden, like you said, you have
Yes.
to carry your client's
Yes,
burden.
yes,
So your
yes,
client,
yes.
I mean, we're living in the digital age. We can't be doing business traditionally. When Thato calls me at 2, I answer, ask him,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
answer. I'm like, Ish, Thato. you know. But you know what I mean? But then I'm there, and usually,
Yeah.
because he's a very thorough agent. He's extremely thorough.
Yeah.
He's extremely cautious.
Yeah.
So he'll be worrying about something this small. But because it's maybe a field that he does not know, okay, so legally what's this? Nah, man. Like,
No,
this
no,
is-
I followed Thato. Now back to him before I leave the studio. I followed him when he launched the foundation. I was very impressed.
The Pink Golf Challenge.
Yeah,
yes.
and then I also now he has explained to me of air about his passion and his commitment to raise 1 billion. And I think our members would be happy to join you and assist you as
Thank
much
you.
as possible.
Thank you.
On him to raise an oncology center, which is very important in the next 5 years. So we wish you luck.
Nice.
Thank you.
As the BLA,
Thank you.
I think
Thank
you
you.
have
Thank you.
chosen a very particular, touching subject.
Yes.
It has been a subject that affects all South Africans
Yeah.
about cancer. So
Yeah.
I followed you around that. So but thank you for inviting us. Okay,
Oh,
thank you
Mr.
guys.
Mashudu, thank you very much
On
for
that
coming.
note,
Thank you
yeah.
for your time, guys. You don't get this any day. The president utlile matlodula le rona. His time is money. If this was a consultative session, hey. So he
I'll
didn't.
do
He said
pro
that I was
bono.
not giving you guys advice.
Yes.
But it was just a conversation. We hope that it opened up your mind. Be happy. There'll be new opportunities that will come.
Right.
Read, find new hobbies. It's Conrad TV.
Hashtag.
Hashtag Mmuso Matlala. President, thank you very much.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Mashudu.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much. PLA. DJ Mbila, take us away. Kadipina natsedi monate tsa basha, as we now close it off.
Yep.
And we might just have an informal conversation with Zoe again.
We do, and I might just do my Freestyle Friday on air.
'Cause it is
But
Freestyle
we'll talk
Friday.
about it. We'll talk about it. I'll post it. If I don't do it on air, I'll definitely post it because I want the team here to take a good video of me. You know what I mean? But we'll talk about that. We'll talk. You guys will see.
Ayelo. Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
It's Conrad TV, no hearsay. Hey, 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 hey. One thing is certain, it's gonna be crazy, yo.
Conversational Radio TV, just different.
Hey, hey.